There's inconsistency, and Johnny Gomes, who is interesting in the booth, kind of alluded to that.
I'm not exactly completely sold, but a lot of people seem to like him in the booth.
I think he's good for the casual fan because he breaks down the game really well.
He's getting better for sure, but
yeah, he's still very monotone and
he's
boring.
not Eckersley.
He sounds like he has nails in his mouth all the time.
Yeah, it sounds like he's like afraid he's gonna say something stupid.
Yeah.
Do you guys like O'Brien?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
You don't like him? I think
No.
he sounds very similar
I'm on
to
the fence.
Orsillo.
He's not as
I
funny
don't
though.
know.
He sounds like him, but he doesn't have the character.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't have the chemistry of Remy. I think that's it. Because, like, if you watch the West Coast games or extra inning games when it was Remy and Orsillo, they would just start laughing at everything and just kind of like feed off each other. So I think it's just that. And with Remy getting older and sicker, I just don't think he's ever going to get it with him.
Yeah, this was never realistic, but my dream scenario, if Orsillo couldn't come back, would have been Matt Vasgersian in the Fenway booth.
Oh, you like Vasgersian?
Yeah,
I love Vasgersian.
Yeah, me too.
He's good. I just don't think he'd ever come off the national.
Well, Vasgersian's great. Lewin in the Mets system is great.
You're breaking up. Buddy. Oh, there you
go. Who else?
Were you talking about Darling just there?
Huh?
Were you talking about Darling with the Mets?
No, just like in general for baseball, baseball announcers, like Josh Lewin for the Mets system's great, and then you have Joe Davis for the Dodgers system with Nomar as the color guy. It's pretty awesome to hear those games.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I just was curious, and I don't know the exact details behind the whole Orsillo firing and O'Brien coming in, but I thought I saw that O'Brien was kind of putting the pressure on Nesson, like I'm going to bolt here if I get stuck with this radio gig or whatever. And that kind of, I feel like, helped facilitate Orsillo leaving. And Orsillo probably wanted too much money or whatever, but
yeah, too much money from the Red Sox, which is a joke because we'll give Pablo Sandoval and Hanley Ramirez $1 million to, wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't do Eck. Eck's the only one that I can't listen to. If Eck's doing a game, I listen to the radio broadcast.
Oh, see, I
love
that Eck guy.
I
love Eck.
I've only started to love him in the last year or so, but he's like, he'll be talking about like Porcello or someone struggling and be like, man, that was some mediocre cheese.
Yeah.
He tries not to say yuck like every broadcast, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's just because at this point he just wants to be like, these guys are fucking terrible tonight, huh?
Yeah, they are awful.
And he just can't. And I like him because of that, though. He's just a guy's guy. He's just a dude's dude right there.
We need an unfiltered Eck broadcast.
Oh,
just
my God.
Let him say whatever he wants. That would be enjoyable.
That would be it. Yeah, that would be.
He's one of the few like real high-profile people within the Red Sox that follows me, but he doesn't really interact that much. I back before Stanton signed with or agreed to the Yankees trade or whatever, I said when we thought we were in play, I was like, man, Stanton's going to look really goofy during Win, Dance, Repeat, especially with the other two looking like, munchkins.
His big
or whatever
bulky ass out there trying to dance.
Yeah, exactly.
Just being stiff as a fucking board out there.
Yeah, and he liked that one. So I forgot he even followed me up until that point. And I was like, I just thought it was really cool. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, Austin, there's something about you. We get off track, but it's they always end up being great shows.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Austin's just a beauty. That's why. First time meeting the guy, but he's just really making everything flow so nicely.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
All right. Everyone in the audience is going to tell us to get a room or something.
That's fine.
Anyway, let's just to underscore the bullpen, we have our concerns, obviously. I think Velasquez could come back, be a solid seventh inning guy. I did kind of want him in the rotation, but now I guess we don't really have the luxury of that.
I think he could be, but I think that just because of player namesake, you're just going to end up seeing Kelly, Barnes, and Hembry in just a rotation until Thornburg's ready.
Yeah, I mean, that could be, but I don't know. I think Cora is going to have to be open-minded one way or the other. He's going to have to.
Because I agree with you.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he can't get out-managed by Boone. If Boone's even managing, I mean, that might be an analytics team, but.
I hate that guy.
But he's just got to be more aggressive. Like when Lavello took over for 2 months, insanely aggressive, instant game changer. Did the same thing last year in Arizona. So
this year they're in first place again.
Yeah, I
Boone's
did
a puppet. First of all, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I don't know if he's really calling the shots. I think they're coming from upstairs and. He's babysitting and just basically directing traffic in the dugout. But
yeah, he's any coach that LeBron James works for. Like they're just there.
You nailed it.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, I always thought.
Well, I feel like the Yankees hand him like a flow chart. It's like if this happens, you do this. If the count is this, you do this.
It's true.
Like,
if not, you pick up the phone and press 7.
Yeah.
You know?
You call that guy out there and go get somebody.
It's you listen to him, but he sucked in his broadcast. I mean, that guy ruined my life. First off, so Aaron Boone ruined my life in 2003. So like everybody else.
Yeah.
But the guy was bad with his stupid scarves in any of the broadcasts that he was on, and then. They bring him in like after the games. They talk to him in the booth. I don't know if you guys watched like MLB Network after some of the playoff games or national TV games. He sucked. He was never good. And then they bring him in to manage all of a sudden. But like the dude was just sitting there like us watching the games, shooting the shit. Like where did his baseball mind be like, oh, this is the guy for the Yankees right here, Aaron Boone.
If he doesn't hit the home run in 2003, he's sitting on his couch just watching baseball games like normal.
Yeah,
like it's just plain and simple.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, he had a mediocre career up until that, and then after that.
Remember Nick Green with the Red Sox?
Yes,
that's who he would be. Yeah, I guess he kind of with Heidi Watney, but so at least he did that. But that would be Boone. He would just be instantly forgotten about. Like you guys probably never would have remembered Nick Green if I didn't bring him up.
No, it would be years before I heard Nick Green's name again.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's just there's only certain players that you remember. Like I don't know. Do you guys remember Frank Catalanato out in Toronto?
I live in Texas, so it's
okay. The only reason I grew up watching him just kill the Red Sox. I thought he was a career 350 hitter. No, he wasn't. He sucks. He's just really good against the Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the reason they brought him in was because he was fine with being a delegator. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense at this point. He wasn't, Cora had all the hype and he never even managed, and Boone wasn't even close to that. So I feel like that's an analytics team, but I mean, we can't knock it. They're ahead of us right now, and
they are half a game ahead. This is true.
We're going to be in the fight for our lives. So, I mean, who knows? Unless there ends up being some clubhouse drama there, or injuries or whatnot.
And Boone loses. Aaron Judge loses a tooth.
Yeah.
Just something like that. Something crazy.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Getting back to our manager. I want him to be a little bit more aggressive. I feel like he's too passive. I want a guy who's just not afraid to shake things up a little bit. So, I mean.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing that because he's going to have to get creative with just because of the limited options he has in the bullpen.
Right. And before we move on, what about Pointer? He was just called up. He's intriguing to a lot of people. He gave up an RBI double, I think it was an RBI double. I think 2 runs might have even come in. That was last night in the Erod start. So, I mean...
he's good. That's going to happen.
I like him,
though.
You're eventually going to give up runs.
I mean, he's not a fastball guy, and, I mean, he throws a lot of strikes, and...
Not being a fastball guy scares the shit out of me. Anybody that's not a fastball guy in this, league now, it's like a unicorn. So it's like, what is he going to do today?
I'm just wondering how he's going to be successful. That previous sample size, it was fun to watch, but it was too short, and the teams weren't that good, and then he pulled his hamstring and didn't really come back until this week. So it's just another guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a circus out there in the bullpen for the next month or so until we get guys healthy and roles. And if we end up moving guys, Swihart's agent wants to trade. Well, do we just trade him for like a middle relief guy? But does he turn into somebody? Are we calling anybody up? Although Pawtucket and everybody minus Jason Groom can't really pitch, and considering that Jason Groom just needs Tommy John, he ain't pitching anytime soon either.
He got his surgery though.
Hey, I'm happy now than later. You don't want a Carson Smith or Thornburg at that point, but like that type of situation. But Jay Groom's the real deal. I am pumped about that kid. He's going to be so good. He's legit.
Well, and him working with Sale during the offseason just affirmed that much more for me. Yeah, he's the real, because Sale's not going to work with some nobody.
No,
he real here. No, the guy eats people for breakfast. It seems like. So.
Sale's part of the not fucking around crew.
Yeah, definitely not the Fortnite crew.
No, definitely not that.
The other cool thing is, I mean, Sale might not be here, much longer, beyond, next year, at the very
that
least.
Makes me sad.
But so it's kind of cool that he's still taking these guys under his wing. He's still, kind of leaving an impression. We're going to talk trades here in a second, but here's another thing that people don't really think about. If we're having Bogaerts, Porcello, and Sale come off the books next year, and we can't sign them early, and they want to go to free agency, because Bogaerts is going to be an Boris guy, and I don't see why. I don't see why Sale wouldn't. I could see Porcello signing early because he's hot and cold, and he might just want to sign something while he's hot. But what happens if you can't sign these guys? Do you just keep them the whole season and then let them walk and just get the draft pick, or do you trade them mid-season and get something from them? Because in a perfect world, that is what you do.
That's what you do if you're a bad team. But as a good team, you have to go for the World Series every single year and just take the compensatory pick and just roll with the punches.
Well, that's what we did with Ellsbury. So I mean,
and did that work out in so many different ways?
Well, we're not the ones paying him right now, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, the
Yankees are paying Ellsbury to be Brett Gardner, except worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess he's just been injured for like the third time during his rehab.
Ever?
No, like during his rehab, he's had his third setback. So whether that's real or not, who knows? But I mean,
I was just gonna say I don't even know at this point if those are even real.
Yeah, he just might be done forever as far as New York goes. But let's just talk trades right now, and whether it's bullpen related or whatever. I mean, the bottom third of our order, they're all automatic outs essentially. Bradley has only played 2 out of the last 8 games in which he's 1 for 7. Vasquez is hitting like $170. He's 2 for his last 16. And I feel like we at least got to move Bradley at some point.
Yeah, that hurts me so bad because I think Bradley's so important. I think he's the best defensive center fielder in the American League.
Even better than Kiermaier?
Yes, because I think that Bradley's play goes undervalued in the voting and stuff like that because plays that Kiermaier makes these diving catches on, Bradley's already there.
Right.
Bradley saves so many runs without the metric because no one runs on the guy. Like, Betts has all these outfield assists because they still want to test Mookie Betts for some reason. You don't test Bradley. Bradley doesn't make diving catches all the time because he'll track 70 feet and just catch it like a routine fly ball. I think that's why he's just that good.
He's got the best arm. Like that's nobody can dispute that.
He's got a cannon.
Exactly.
Well, and sometimes Kiermaier kind of lines it up to where he can dive. Okay, Kevin, let's chill.
Yeah, 100%. Like he just wants to make it fancy.
But Byron Buxton too is a
Byron Buxton's a beast
defender.
He's a beast defender. He's another guy that doesn't hit very well either. I mean, not JBJ 171, Leon's 170, Vasquez is 179. I mean, those aren't very good.
Today, you might have seen this on Twitter. I was like, I drive a truck for a living locally, and